Hey guys, it's me Damien here. This week's topic we're going to be talking about how I came out to myself, my friends, and my family. It wasn't a very eventful thing. I when I came out to myself, it was just mostly me processing it in my head, thinking how could this be? Why didn't I know before? And it was just a mix of confusion, fear, and pressure because time was not really on my side. It's not really on anybody's side because I just got a job. I just graduated from college, and I was just in this state of limbo because I didn't know what I wanted. I felt so uncomfortable without really knowing why, and I was partially hoping to myself this wasn't true, and I was just confused at life, and I just want what's it gonna take for me to get my life moving? And this is something I touched upon when I was like publishing an editorial of my story in a magazine that's gonna be coming out in the spring soon. But it's very depressing how I found out I was trans. It basically took losing my job and getting rejected from graduate school to figure that out, really. And some dumb luck and looking up transgender issues on Tumblr and just saying, oh, well, this sounds like something I would be interested in. And then I would go, look it up and start looking at YouTube channels right before I know it. And then I just started, and then it just clicked, really. And I was just like, oh, well, that explains a lot when you look back at, my childhood memories and you're, looking at a kid that wanted to play with, NASCAR, toy cars, and instead of playing with Barbies, and wanting to dress like my brother, but my mom would literally beat me within an inch of my life, saying that I couldn't wear those things. So it was like a confusing and time-consuming process, but I'm glad that I found out sooner rather than later, right before it was too late. Coming out to my family was a different story. It wasn't that simple to just saying, oh, well, this is what it is and it exists. Coming out to my mother, which was right after my birthday happened last year, she basically took me by surprise because I was expecting denial. Oh, it's just a phase. No, that's not true. That doesn't exist. And anything of that nature to come out of her mouth. And all I got was, oh, that's it, as if she didn't really realize the extent of her words in that moment, but yeah, she didn't really take me seriously. And as I figured, we just carried on as per usual, like nothing happened. And well, I didn't really come out to my dad because we had this silent treatment that's still ongoing right now, but my mom told me that she told my dad, and I'm guessing he's tolerating it right now. I don't know what he feels, but I know he's not gonna accept it and I know that because when I'm not in the room, he still addresses me by my birth name and using female pronouns and with my mother. And my mother is also another problem. She does accept me, but when my dad's not around, otherwise she will appease him by saying my name as if my feelings didn't matter. She cared more about my dad's feelings rather than my own feelings, and it's all back and forth with her, but she said she's gonna take me out to get some new clothes this weekend because I have a court date for my legal name change next Monday. But yeah, with my mom, it's kind of like 50-50, but still, that's better than what my dad's looking at. He's 100% against it. He's not stopping me because I'm already over 18 and he has no say in this. But yeah, my parents has taken a lot of work, and I'm still between giving up on them and just keep working with them and just be patient, which is something I need to work on. I'm not very patient. But as for my brother, he's supportive, but he's almost like my mother also. He never says my birth. He doesn't say my birth name anymore, but he doesn't address me by Damien either because he doesn't want to make my parents mad, or he's like, I guess in other words you could say he's like a coward. He's not willing to stand up for me, so I have to do it myself. I have to kind of point it out. Okay, I go by male pronouns now. My name is Damien. My name is not so and so anymore, and the legal name change is happening next week, so I better not hear it ever again. So I kind of had to stand my ground, but also at the same time not sound like a douche. But I still haven't come out to my uncle, and I plan on doing that next week. And I do have higher hopes for him because he took my haircuts, like when he saw me right after I have a haircut. He seemed to like approve of it much more than my mother ever did, because she would call my haircut ugly all the time, and my dad would just be like rolling his eyes, like showing his disapproval. So yeah, my parents coming out was uneventful, but it wasn't as if they're supportive either. So it was just a mixed bag of emotions, and I don't know. I just don't want to open a can of worms with them. I'm still walking on eggshells when it comes to dealing with them, so I tend to stay away from them as much as I can while trying to get my life back together after transitioning. Because I'm an early adult, I already got out of college. It's not like the life is gonna come to me. I have to go chase after it. So yeah, that was basically how I came out. It's not really much to say on this topic, but it was uneventful. I'm still working with them, even though part of me is basically wants to give up on them and just say to hell with you. But yeah, it's a complicated bag right now. So yeah, that's basically how I came out, and for every person it's different. And part of me wishes I just stuck with the letter, where I just wrote a letter to everybody instead of just coming out like out of nowhere. That seemed to have worked for me. That seems like something that would have worked with me better because speaking is not something that I'm particularly good at. But writing is a whole nother story. I can write really well. So yeah, I have the regrets, but transitioning and coming out, I don't really have any of them. I have supportive friends. None of them made any ignorant comments or said, "Oh, I'm gonna disrespect you. Oh, I don't agree with this. I'm gonna call you by this name, and I'm still gonna use these female pronouns. So please work with me here." So I haven't had any of those. So I'm very lucky in that regard. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week, and please subscribe, comment, like, whatever you need to do, and see ya.